Hello, welcome. I'm Pheasant. Today, we'll be taking on England 6 with Regrowth Green. And let's have a little look at the board. We're on D because that's my new schema for picking board. I just pick the next board down rather than trying to do it randomly, which doesn't really work. Okay, so we've got to remember against England that some of our usual green tricks just don't work, like the stem trick to turn one, clear a annoying town, doesn't work. So we're going to be doing different stuff. We're probably going to push the town out with fields choked with green. That's probably what we're doing. And though we do want to do turn one proliferate to get things going, we cannot really afford to dawdle. We cannot. So let's put a presence in this sands. So because it's a non-jungle wetland presence, we want to prioritize putting it in those non-jungle wetlands cards when we have the opportunity. So we're going to do this, and this is purely for acceleration. Unfortunately, Creepers, without some serious help, Creepers is going to do very little for us. So again, given that this is a sands, we need to resist the urge to go here. Given that this is a sands, we will put the presence in there. That's the idea. Okay, we have some jungle. So we will push this town out. Now we're against England, so we can't really stack. So there's going to be a lot of kind of pushing stuff around. They're going to build in here. And it's too early to really know what our plan is. So we'll do a little bit of creeping there because we can. We do have some unbelievable regrowth. So I think probably putting it in here is reasonable. And yeah, we just need to push this town somewhere. And I think we just don't know what we're going to be working with this game. So I think we just go for just pushing stuff everywhere for now. Okay, and now we are going to gain our first minor power. So what is it going to be? Okay, so there's things we like, there's things we don't like. The things we like are generating a lot of fear. Damage is not great typically in this matchup. Like calls to like is interesting. If we are able to have some kind of kill condition, we can use like calls to like to trigger it. And the other nice thing about it is it actually does something where stem doesn't really do anything for us. Unfortunately, Wilds does next to nothing against England, but this is a zero cost fear. And we don't know what major we're working with. So I think maybe we go with this, though this is nice because the water plant gives us access to unbelievable regrowth. And the rearrangement could be good if we have a plan. But we are far from having a plan. Actually, wait a second. Elusive Ambushes is a defend. Let's see. Do we have any convenient Dahan for upcoming Ravages? They're not conveniently placed now, so we won't really have a use for it straight. I suppose we could make this Ravage super safe. The trouble is I want to be using this innate as much as possible in early game. So I think I'll grab this because it is a defend card. So yeah, actually, and it's water. So we have this Ravage here, which we can't do anything about, so we're not going to fret about it. So I think I will place in with these Dahan in case we get some kind of being friends with Dahan bonuses down the line. And Ambushes doesn't do quite, I guess making this safe is decent, but I don't think we have that luxury. If we got a counter-attack out of it, I'd be all over that like a flannel, but that's not the situation. So I think we will continue to grow into lands that are otherwise unattainable, and I'm quite carefully going so that I'm getting to 3 plays next turn. Okay, adding a town, that's fine. And really, the odds of us being able to get rid of all the cities are very low, so it's not something I'm generally going to worry about. So it's just kind of keeping it so that there aren't any lands that are too built up at this stage, and we get to have a free Dahan. So let's put it in here, because this is actually, we get into the number of Dahan that actually might do something in a counterattack. We do have a defend card now. Okay, so we've got a build here. There's a disease token there, so we'll just let the disease do something. And okay, so this time we have this Ravage here, and this Ravage here. Did anything get damaged by events that we could finish off with these things? No, is the answer there. But we do have a little bit of growth, so we can prevent this Ravage here, which is reasonable. Okay, and here though, this is interesting. We're gonna have unfortunately it's beyond this. I guess if we Field Choke next turn, we could push the town that's going to be built out, and then we could defend with Elusive. It's just that you feel like this matchup is a lot of kind of nibbling around the edges. Just because you can do so little, especially in the early game, you just can't kill anything. Okay, so, and we've distributed London, so it doesn't really know where it is yet. There's a few candidates, and we can't really afford to have a turn off, so we will reclaim and go to 3 plays. And we will gain... It's tempting to start looking for mages now, actually. Replace Overgrow, probably. We will be at 3 plays. We'll have 3 energy, so our turn could look something like Stem Fields, which is pretty good. That means we're getting towards this area. So like Stem Fields Gift. So if we gained a major, we'd be replacing Overgrow probably. So then next turn we could have Major, Elusive in here, and then whatever this is. So I think I will start looking at a major. It's bold. Ooh. Ooh. Well, these are definitely majors. Red Talons is very interesting for us if we can... I mean, if we can't threshold it, it's a lot of pushing stuff around. Dream is... Yeah, let's not worry about Dream. I think an extra island board against England is not what you want. Transformative Sacrifice. Can we threshold it? The thing is, acceleration just isn't that valuable to us. We're already kind of getting towards the end of our tracks. Tsunami though is just a big lump of damage. It's also a wetland. A water card. Transformative is on element, and we are the spirit that gets their presence back, and it has all of our elements on. The thing is, there are some useful minor powers that can work here. Yeah, I think we do it next turn. Okay, fine. So we get rid of Overgrow. Okay, so we're going quite deep into the funk zone here. There's going to be... We'll just prevent these ravages. These builds will happen. So we have a jungle presence. Let's... do I actually value the extra energy here over the plays? So we've got 3 energy this turn. I definitely want to prolife and play these 2. That's a cheap turn. Okay, we'll take the plays. And we'll make a Sacred Site here because we do actually have a defend card now, so our Dahan are somewhat valuable. I might kind of... Or... Yeah, so we have a plan here. So we're going to push the town out. I guess the issue is Stem just doesn't do anything, right? Apart from get us our unbelievable regrowth. Alternatively, we could Transformative Sacrifice. That's pretty interesting. is this pure foolishness? Obviously, we're giving up a little bit of acceleration for that. But... yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, but is it good? We're in a weird situation here where actually we don't have a lot of worries this turn. In fact, we can just get rid of these presents. We definitely can still push this town out. We've definitely still got this plan for next turn. This we could just get rid of and let that blight next turn. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. We're doing it. So you can go, and you can go. So, elemental boon. Okay. Yes, we'll take some fear. Yes, we'll take some more fear. Elemental boon means we can give ourselves the plant that we want. And that's the only relevant thing we can give ourselves. I guess there's events coming up. So, what interest... I mean, this actually is a nice little burst of fear. I'll take it. And we do also... Yeah, let's get this top tier, the innate, and then I guess we're just playing for events, so let's go with those. Oh, crikey. So... are we actually doing some damage this turn? Buildings having one less health. We do have stem. We've got all of our creeping, and we've got pull beneath, which we can use in our sands. Next one we don't care about the blight. Okay. Are we doing this? Yeah, we can blight in here. Okay, we're spurning. And so 2 damage to Dahan. So we'll keep our counterattackers here, and we'll lose this lone Dahan. That's kind of playing around cultural assimilation there. Oh, no. Oh, is this the only land where that can go? Okay, can we take the Cascade? We didn't get any blight cleanup in our collection of everything. So we'd be basically... So we'd be losing these presents, that's fine, we can get more. We'd have to Cascade. That can Cascade there, that's fine. So in the Ravage, we can't prevent this Ravage anymore. Okay, yeah, fine. It's fine. So yeah, this Dahan's dying anyway, so yeah, okay. So, and they're just killing more and more of my Dahan, which I don't like. Okay, and they're building, and we didn't generate any fear. Oh god. Surprisingly, this actually is still looking okay. We'll do it this way around. Let's see where we go. I put it on fast, but I just don't know the cards well enough. Yeah, we can. It's okay, as long as we're hitting our innate, that's just fine. We'll cascade into here because there's Dahan there that might clean it up, and we have a whole plan for that. And okay, so a new London has emerged. It's over here. So we're at Terra 1, so we'll do the non-decisions first. That's just some fear. Okay, this is only going to do... So this only really does anything where we have presence. So sand, wetland with presence. So there's just here, but we can actually clear that because of it's our rare opportunity to. So I think that's almost certainly the pick there. And then, okay, actually it's kind of a bit funny because we've ended up not having presence in the lands we want, but we can now place presence wherever we want. So the plan was to push this town out. This is now a 5 building land that's about to build. That's not great. So maybe this is where we want to hit. And we definitely need to address that. So okay, that's fairly straightforward. We put that in there. We put the adjacent presence in in here, yeah. Even though it's sand is a bit more awkward. We push the town from here into here. And we have full creeping. Wow. So we can do this. So we can just triple creep to get rid of 3 towns. This is no longer London. That's kind of interesting. I mean, I think... Oh, actually, no, it still is London. Yeah, we just take this. We just kill the towns, I think. Well, I showed them. We probably will just allow the build here now. Well, that was eventful. Okay, so we've got our planned defend here, 4 damage with elusive, but we'll probably put another presence in there just to be safe. So we can go to... There's no point going to 4 plays, but I think we do want to do this. And surprisingly, yeah, we want to make sure we play something this turn. So we'll grab a minor power, I think. Though we do have a load of minor powers. But we don't have much budget for this turn. So, ooh, Renewing Boon actually is kind of good for us. It's very slow. What about Rot Flies? It's plant, it's air, which is sometimes we want for things. And so a Blighted Wetlands is 3 fear. That's what we want. We can't really afford to have too many more of those turns where we're not generating enough fear. We actually would get the threshold on visions here this turn. So we do have... oh, I think we need to take Blight Cleanup. I think actually that's what we need to do. It's not ideal, but we are... having the freedom to just let some lands blight is worth quite a lot to us. I think. We do have the fear card. This is also quite expensive. I think I'm not sure that's the right decision. Okay, so we'll make a safety first. We'll make that there. So we have our initial plan. We're going to be letting this land blight, but we'll also be doing some cleaning up. So we elusive ambushes in here. And we proliferate into... I mean, this mountain is a good place to proliferate because then we can Renewing Boon in there. How much regrowth have we got? Yeah, not enough. So we will proliferate into there. And I'm not taking this just because I can always take this in the growth phase. I might want to take the plant instead of the play. And destroying presence, huh? Is that what it's come to? So yeah, we will destroy presence. The interesting thing is, we've already seen our blight card. So... oh wow, some... our poor Dahan. Reclaim a power card or regain a unique power. There's no way that we're not reclaiming next turn, so we'll just regain. Overgrow. Removing a town. Well, we can't do that. We can make it so there's no explorers in here, though. Let's do that. Okay, so we're allowing this ravage because we've got a clear there. That's blighting, which is fine, and we'll allow this build unless we can transfer the kind of London duties to a jungle in the future. Actually, no, we can allow this to become London. That's fine. So we'll allow that build, and England's going to escalate. So we want London to be in a jungle wetland because it's so much easier for us to kind of replenish. So we've got these 2 ravages here, which we can defend. We've only got the 1 creep, which again it's become irrelevant again. But we do get to do that. Let's add a presence in here. And we'll try and stack as much presence as we can and do some creeping. Okay, so we're preventing... Actually, I mean, yeah, we're in the situation here where there's no point in not preventing that ravage. So I'm not going to talk at length about it, I promise. Okay, so we actually have quite a collection of cards here. I don't think I can be transformative sacrificing again anytime soon, but it has got really nice elements. So we're probably pushing to 4 plays, and I'm going to be trying to do this as much as possible. In terms of water plants, we've got our starting water plant cards. So we're still kind of missing another perfect element card apart from this. Which the trouble with this is that the thing is, if we're generating 3 presents a turn, then that's fine. That is kind of interesting. Let's look at a minor power though, just because. Do we have actual pure Forget Fodder? I still think there's a place for cards like Terror Turns to Madness until we've started really destroying stuff. Pull probably is Forget Fodder, it doesn't do quite enough. So we could be just start looking for like questing for mages. So yeah, that is Forget Fodder. Overgrow could be the Fast Sphere that we need. Elemental Boon could be clutch. Okay. Let's quickly assess these ravages. Yeah, we're going to start looking for mages, even if we can't play them for a while. Oh wow, okay. These are definitely some mages, and they're definitely interesting. So what element support have we got? We've obviously got Elemental Boon already. Tiger's Hunting. I love Tiger's Hunting. It's just great. Look at it. Beautiful. But the island's already pretty blighted. We need... I mean, this is the kind of thing we need. Something like forests. We like Badlands a lot. And then once we've got Badlands, we can actually do something about England. Twisted Flowers is amazing, but it's really expensive. So we need 3 fire to threshold forests. We do already have our elusive, which also has the sun. We do have a little bit of earth stuff going on, so we could potentially be thresholding this. Obviously, we can set up sacred sites fairly effectively. I mean, Plague Ships is also really interesting. How is this one we can easily threshold? Fire, water, animal. So we don't have animal. This is just a horrible thing to play purely for elements. But the threshold is very interesting. The 3 damage, though, again, against everyone else, that's... Oh, great, that's a city kill. Not against England. So this actually gives us an opportunity to just clear a land. Well, I say that. If we repeat it in the same land, it clears a land. Oh, so rank. And we need to somehow find the 3rd Earth, which is actually going to be really awkward for us, because all of our other stuff is off-brand. So I think thresholding this is basically impossible. Twisted Flowers, I've just not really addressed them. It is thresholdable. It actually is threshold. It's just very, very expensive. Unless we get something else that generates us a lot of energy, we're not likely to want to play that. But it actually does work. It is on element. Tigers though. Oh, tigers. That fast fear though. Plague Ships though is quite easy for us to start thinking about thresholding. We've already got fire. We just need to find an animal card. Flowers is moon air, so we've already got some moon stuff going on, though we will stop using overgrow and gift pretty soon. But we do have terror turns, which actually I need to start. I might be slipping this in, especially in terror level 1. I am not sure. This is a tricky one. This is so difficult to threshold. We basically have to spend our whole turn thresholding it, neglecting our other stuff. So I think it's Twisted Flowers. I am. But what is our Forget Fodder here? Oh yeah, Pool Hungry. You're getting forgotten. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely going to go to 4 plays because we've got these kind of cheap cards we can slip in that are going to do good work. Okay, so preventing these ravages. There's this build. That's horrible. So we want to, yeah, we need to we need to not lose that old chestnut, the old not losing business. So we do have a fear card this turn already. This is the turn that kind of that kind of presents itself. So between Stem and Creeper's Tear, I can actually destroy a single town. Ooh. But I do get a lot of regrowing, so that's something. Yeah, it's pretty bleak. But the fear is real. I mean, we'll be generating 4 fear, which is not quite enough to generate a fear card. Is this really what I'm doing? Or do I just embrace the YOLO and do Transform and Sacrifice? Instead of the gift gets us this plant, and that plant means we get the top of unbelievable regrowth. If we don't play Terror turns, then we can play Transformative Sacrifice instead. And we should... Oh, we'll already hit the top of the innate. Oh, okay. So maybe we could... I really value this fear, though. So I think that's a turn. That just looks horrible. But critically, we do still get this, and we'll likely get some element bonuses from Transformative Sacrifice. Okay, so I haven't even thought about where I'm going to take it from. So given that we have a defend, we will take from there. And do we have a land that we want to think about vacating? There's not a lot going on in this Sands. Okay, so Prowling Panthers, lovely stuff. Okay. These are some cards. And we're full creeping, and we're unbelievable regrowth. Wow. Is this just what I'm doing now? This kind of weird little combo? Maybe it is. Do we have enough defend to do something relevant with Call to Guard and Roiling? The answer is no, but we can use Roiling to isolate a land. So we could actually prevent this town build by isolating it. Pretty swanky. And this Sands, there's already disease in there though, and it's not building, so. But we can use Call to Guard to rearrange our Dahan a little bit. So let's rescue this one. Oh, we could rescue the one from the disease, and we'll double them up as well. Okay, well, these Dahan might do some damage to these buildings, and yeah, we'll just damage any explorers that go in there. Okay, so we'll destroy another presence, and we'll let this go. This can be a land that we let blight at some point, potentially. So add an explorer to land without invaders or Dahan. Oh, in you go. Beasts are going to destroy something, and... Oh, are we not in with enough Dahan anymore? Clearly not. So, a strife somewhere. It's probably not going to do very much, but we'll put it in our big land in London. Okay, so we're going to prevent these. And this build is to get to 5. So... Oh wow, I just realised we can use this to destroy a town. Interesting. I think I will still pick to get a beast though. So 4 is... Yeah, I need to think about where I'm going to unbelievable regrowth. Yeah, we need to prevent the ravage as well. So maybe I put unbelievable regrowth in here. and then the other presence can go maybe in with these Dahan. Yeah, so we'll prevent this build. Okay, so we did get lucky there and avoid that Explorer as well. Right, so let's unbelievable regrowth in here. And another presence can go, yeah, let's put it in here. There's not a lot happening here, which is how I like it. And we actually have creepers and stem and prowling panthers. So destroying a town in here is basically generating a fear. And that's all it's really achieving. So I think I'm going to just add a beast somewhere. So I'll add a beast again, and we'll do it in London. Because that could just, you know, that's an investment for the future. I assure you, it's a very good move. And Terror turns to Madness. Oh yeah, I might have almost, yeah, no, we're still well within Terror level 1. Okay, so we do have possibilities with Stem and Creepers. In fact, we could kill a city if we combine them. Wow. How incredible. So, where do we want to kill a city? What we can do is we can have lands where we're just always skipping stuff, and we can have lands that are a little bit more tolerable, that we can kind of potentially defend at some point. I think this might be a good candidate for that. Though this actually isn't adjacent to a sacred site. So I suppose, yeah, let's go in here. Yeah. And ooh, a great amount of labour. We'll destroy that city. Wow. And then we have a town push. So yeah, we can keep this actually somewhat under control. We'll push this town. Yeah, there's just a lot of ineffectual pushing that goes on. I suppose we'll push it in with disease in case... Oh, wait. I forgot about the Dahan push being an option. Do we want to push any Dahan? We have jungle. That's too big. We really don't want to lose any more Dahan. Actually, no. I'm going to leave these distributed so they're more likely to gain. I'm more likely to gain an extra Dahan from something. And I think I will push this into here. Can't tell you why. So this turn we actually potentially could. Could we threshold flowers? No, it's because it's too expensive, which is annoying. And yeah, we're not likely to be able to play this very often. So there's this which I'm going to let blight. There's this which I'm going to prevent the ravage and the escalation build. So we will put that presence in there. So this is going to build. If we reclaim, we could actually use Ruining Bog, and it is very on element. The trouble is we're not really doing enough damage. This is... And if we reclaim, though, we're missing out on our big energy injection. 3 energy, wow! So I think I'm going to try and make a turn with what's in my hand. And given that everything costs 1, I think I have to gain a minor power. The thing is, the minor power could actually do something. You know, if we get things that add things like Badlands or generate enough fear, it could actually be onto something. Oh, and yeah, Overgrow here actually is good. That 3 fast fear to convert to get to Terra 2 is pretty valuable. So especially if I'm thinking about playing that, then yeah, we go for a minor power. Or yeah, we don't even have a 0 cost. We don't have anything. Okay, we've been offered a couple. Oh, okay. That's a Badlands. And it's also somewhat on element. This means that our Creeper's Tear actually does something. So that's, yeah, let's not think about that much longer. Though the defend is interesting, but this means we're going to get to do something this turn. Especially if we are overgrowing, that means we'll get some creeping done. Okay, so we're going to put another presence in here because we're preventing a Ravage and a build. And I think we're doing this for the Fast Fear. I guess, and we're going to Seer. And I think, am I really playing Gift of Proliferation just for the moon? Seems horribly inefficient. And we'll clean up some blight. We will be pretty reclaiming next turn. We are very off element here. If I'm going to be playing just for the element, I might as well just play Elemental Boon. Because we're going Ravage into build in wetlands, so we don't need the ability to place anywhere that Proliferate gives us. We're going to be growing to 3 energy next turn anyway, so we may as well get perfect elements. All we need is a single water, and we'll then actually place some destroyed presence. So I think that's definitely worthwhile. So we will generate some fear, upgrade our fear cards, and we will gain moon, water, and some other element. Maybe let's get an air. That's just literally for the event, nothing else. So we can destroy a presence, and that's making me think I could vacate this sands as well. Actually, no, maybe this. Because it's good to have a couple of, a few different lands that we can just abandon. Yeah, I'm going to destroy this one in the sands. Okay. Ooh, we get a Terror level 3 fear card. I love this event so much. I don't love the rest of it, but I love this top bit. What do we get? Oh, okay, fine. That's not quite as exciting as I was hoping for. But we can prevent a town build here. So we are also addressing a Ravage, though it is actually one where we could easily defend it. But I'll take it. Okay, so we deal a damage and lose a beast. That's not great. Where are we Creepers Tearing? So we Seer, we Creepers Tear. That is a city somewhere. Everywhere is looking somewhat under control. Though, if we are just trying to kill stuff, we'd rather be doing it in mountains or sands, because that means that our MVP stem suddenly does a lot more. So probably I'm going to be doing the damage in here. That's so okay. So we don't need to worry about that. Okay, and we are pushing some Dahan. I suppose this land is going to be more relevant for a little while. Okay, we'll take the town removal here, because I think actually what that'll also mean is that I'll just let it go back up to 5, and then we prevent this Ravage, and we allow that Ravage, and then we have the escalation. Ooh, okay. So that's interesting. If we are searing in here, they will build another town. We can kill the city, and this could actually be a little laboratory of damage for us. Laboratory of damage? What the hell are you talking about, Pheasant? So I think I will have them build in here, but especially as that the mountain half isn't coming up anytime soon. Right. So we have Wetland Ravage in here. I'd like to get rid of this doubled up blight because of Festering Pits of Blight. I don't want to get messed up by that, and I still can never quite remember what that's on, because our blight limit is pretty pretty close. I mean, in here would be good as well, but I think this is okay. I think yeah. And it's more broken presence. So we can put this in here. So we've got our prevent for that turn, and then we can sear anger into the wilds in here. And we can do a bit of creeping. So 2 damage, and we can creep again. That's how you kill a city. Oh, but note the sheer horror of this. We have no fear cards. They're going to double build in the jungles. But at least it's not, the jungles aren't, you know, they're going to double build the jungles, and then the jungles are going to sit there. So that's not quite so tragic. So we might even be overgrowing in a night to prevent the double build. Maybe. But that's so expensive. Ugh. Are we just ever going to get to play flowers? Call to guard might be helpful. Okay, so I think we have to reclaim this turn. We've got too much useful stuff in here, and I think if we... Now that we've got a way of placing Badlands, we want to be using that. Look at all those cards. Let's gain another major. Because, yeah, flowers is unfortunately just too expensive for our taste. If we get something like... what's it called? This one here. This is ideal for us. This is the kind of thing we want. A nice, kind of relatively affordable major that just kind of does some damage and is somewhat on element, or something like this would be good. Wounded Wilds, Trees and Stones could be good. So there's plenty of things that are worthwhile for us. So I don't think there's any. I mean, I guess if we get offered another minor power that gives us Badlands, that might be good. But yeah, let's look at a major power. Okay, so this is a power that does give us Badlands, but this threshold is pain. But we've never been better placed to get that threshold, right? Let's look at our water cards. We of course have Elemental Boon, so actually this is thresholdable. It's expensive, and we'd have to spend our whole turn doing it because we don't have any water on our tracks. So Indomitable Claim, though, is an action skip against England if we threshold. Can we threshold it? Thanks to Call to Guard and Renewing Boon, we can currently threshold it while doing useful things. So the action skip is very valuable, especially as we go into stage 3. I mean, it's we don't care about placing our presence, but 3 fast fear and an action skip is pretty good, especially as we're thinking about spending 2 to get that same effect this turn. However, it will cost all of our energy this turn. But actually, we can still have a decent turn with some of these 0 cost cards. Would we be able to threshold on 0 cost? Because that's what we need? No, we wouldn't. So we can't use this turn, but it is potentially 3 fast fear. Instruments is generally not that nice against England, so I think it is melt. One of the nice things about playing green is that you can set up to have a turn where your cards are kind of ignoring the board if you've got enough presence lined up. So I think it's melt. Can we? I'm just checking to see if we can do it without playing Boon. No. But we might pick up a card that does allow that. So what is this actually doing? It's a fast fear. It's doing 2 damage. You've also got the move thing. Now, what movement do we have? I think the only movement we've got is moving our own. Oh no, we've got our starting town push, but we will be playing that to threshold this anyway. The extra 4 damage, so it's still 6 damage. A Badlands and a Wilds, and it's restricted to sands and wetlands, but it could be nice in here, for example. 6 damage would be a... This is potentially 4 fast fear as well, because it could kill No, it's not. No, it's not pleasant. We also could use it for build prevention. I don't think that's worth it. Tricky decision. I think this is what the hell do we forget for this though? Maybe one of our... Oh yeah, Prowling Panthers. I don't think it can quite justify its cost. Also, why would I play this again? It is perfectly on element. Okay, I think Prowling Panthers, time for you to go. And yeah, we won't be playing that this turn, I don't think. Because that would be silly. So we have this Ravage here, and then it's going to go into build and go up to 5. Which is okay. And this is going to build to 5, but we'll prevent that. Yeah, so let's just keep things a little bit under control here. Oh, we actually have one more energy than I was expecting. So I think... I've got to that crucial threshold where I have 1 million cards. I think what we want to be doing is making things painful. Interestingly, if we do Sear and then follow up at some point with Melt, then instead of it being 6 damage, then add, it's more like 8 damage, I think. So, or 7 damage. Anyway, 7 damage is a lot better than 6 against England because you're killing a city and a town rather than 2 towns. So we're not doing this turn, but we might be thinking about this for next turn. And we want to hit quite high on our innate. I guess we also might be thinking about playing this over 2 turns. And we also need to think about kind of being economical. And we also want to think about, oh god, we also want to think about reducing, having a cheap turn if we can. So I think we do that. And we definitely want to hit top of our innate. You know, so but then what are we doing next turn? What is the actual plan? So for example, if my plan is to go flowers, I probably don't want to play Terror Turns to Madness this turn. We don't have a good use of the Isolate this turn. Oh, we also have the issue of generating this Fast Sphere, preventing these double builds, which we don't want. We don't want to have this be a hassle, and we do want to win, so we need the fear. So our current only way of getting that 5 Fast Sphere is with this, or with this. But that's a very different turn. It still could be a pretty good turn though. And at least it's actually doing something on the board, whereas this, of course, is just generating us 3 fear. This would be... Where could we do it? We could kind of start working on this horribly built-up land. And we could push a town in as well. That's obviously slow, and we're looking for fast power. So we are short an earth here. Let's just quickly check. Do we have any water earth cards? No, not just now. So we do need to play Elemental Boon as part of this package. So it's just, so I'm paying a lot more energy to... I guess I could skip Terror Turns to Madness and get perfect elements. So that means at least that I'd be able to... I'd go something like Plant, Moon, Earth, and that means I'd get 2 lots of creepers top of this. And so in the fast phase, this would generate a fear and then do 6 damage. So if I kill 2 towns, then that will be our 3 fast fear. The trouble is we're then down to 0 energy again. But we can go with a growth, go for a minor power for element support for some of this other stuff. Or even element support for melt. Yeah, okay, let's do that before I forget what elements I need. Okay, so what was it? It was moon, water, plant. Okay, so we've got top of these we've got this thresholded. No, we don't. No, moon, water, earth. Oops. So let's do that again. Let's try again. Okay, so we have this thresholded. Okay, well done, Pheasant. So, the trouble with... actually, wait a second. If we do it in here... Yeah, they still build here. And there's just not enough going on in there for it to be worth it. But the nice thing is that if I do a single damage in there, it kind of... Like, for example, if I stem in here, then... Actually, this means I can stem in here this turn. And the stem will just kill a town. However, I've got creepers, so I could actually basically use stem like another lot of creepers in here, because it actually won't do anything. And here means that I can basically clear this land so it's nothing to worry about in the Ravage next turn, which frees me up to worry about everything else. Interesting. Doing it. Okay. And I guess we could even have something killing the Explorer. Okay, so we need to destroy a presence. Destroy one of these. We don't need this many over here. Okay, missionaries. We are not in the business of defending, so we will curse their tongues. Get out of my mouth. Sickening missionaries. Okay, do we have defends next turn? Okay, no. So we'll discard this, and we will also discard flowers. We're not playing flowers next turn. Okay, so we're going to get to add a disease. So we could actually prevent this build, but we actually... Oh no, we want them to build that this turn. There's already a disease in here. I like adding disease in with Badlands, because sometimes the Badland does damage. So we'll add it in there. Beasts are destroying explorers. Lovely stuff. Okay, remove an explorer or town from a land with those things. So my original plan was to stem in here. Oh, wait a second. It's not that nice. I still have to stem and then Creeper's Tear. I think this might have been a mistake. Okay, well, we will learn from our mistakes and we will remove this. This should be out of the game for a while, and we'll prevent this build. And we'll prevent this Ravage. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what the right play was there. I think this might have been a mistake. It's worked out that I have basically a very chill turn next turn, but I am not 100%. Okay, so luckily we do have this set up over here, so we can... Oh, I need to make a sacred site for Sled. This is one of the things I like about this. Is it's quite forgiving. So we could just make a sacred site here and hope that that's... It means that if a blight is going to fall, we could just lose a presence, but then it means we don't get the option of just letting it blight. So I think actually I will make the sacred site here. Yeah, so we'll stem in here. So that means that this city has taken 2 damage. So we will finish it off. And we will finish off a town. And then I think we'll push a town into here. We don't have anywhere near as much presence in here, so I think we'll just push from here. Though, wait a second. Yeah, let's push from the jungle, because we do have this, which you can use in wetlands. So we'll push from... Yeah, just push from here. And that will die. Okay, we've already got our fear card. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, by the way. I know these are quite long videos, especially England 6. It's quite long, but it's fun. Okay. Yes, I know how to human. I know how to do the human things. So we've got this Ravage here. I'm prepared to just let that go, I think, though I guess we could just Roiling in there. Um, and we really need to economize. I guess the issue is I just forgot. I just discarded this for elements, and but we can, and also critically, stem is in the discard pile. So I think actually what I'm doing this turn is some kind of seer shenanigans. Seer, and maybe we get moons of other things. Do we transform it to sacrifice? I suppose I could transform it to sacrifice um, if I was definitely placing enough presence, but I feel like we're a little bit low on presence on the board compared to where we really want to be. Yeah, we have to have more energy because we can't really, yeah, we can't continue like this. So I think we are having a relatively budget turn. I think if we use like something like Renewing Boon is pretty good for getting more presence on the board, cleaning up some blight. We've still got some time. So I think we are looking potentially for element support to maybe make this a bit of a better turn. So I think it's a minor power. I think we have enough tools now that we can actually do this, even though it's a like if we can threshold this easily, that's obviously huge amounts of fear, and we can disappear cities with it as well. Okay, what have we got? So we didn't get the perfect moon air plant card that I was hoping for. But we do have another way of adding Badlands. And it's also very on element. It doesn't have the moon, but it has everything else that we like. Entrap is cool, but not really relevant for what we're doing. Song of Sanctity is also good, but I'm just going to take this. We need those. We need all the help we can get with those. Interesting. So there's a double build in here in this wetland. So this is our area that we want to pay attention to. Okay, so we did get Shore. So I think maybe what we'll be doing is Shore Seethes with Seer Anger. So we'll double Badlands in there. I think I'll also place another presence in here. So this does still feel quite sketchy. And so having done these things, we then need to play some moon cards. So that's what we'll do. So we are a moon shy of all of them, but we do have top of Unbelievable. Let's just quickly sanity check that. We can Royal in here to defend that. We've already got that Fear, so we'll play both of these, and then we will hit it twice, which will be 6 damage. It'll be 2 towns, but it'll take this down to a more manageable limit. And then when we hit it with maybe next turn, if we hit it with Melt, that would be good. Okay, so we defend in here and get a fast fear, and I think we are going to destroy a presence because especially if we've got our full regrowth. Where are we going to put our full regrowth? I think we remove this one. Yeah, and it's so much easier for us to place in mountains and sands. Okay. Destroying 3. Okay, we will put a blight down. We'll put it in this Badlands because this land is very easy for us to deal with. And we're adding a disease somewhere. So let's... If the thing is, if we're committing both of these Badlands tokens to this wetland, then we really do want to go to town on it. Okay, gather. Okay, so I'm just gonna click all of these because I find it confusing. Okay, so we are gathering up to 3 explorer towns for a single land into a land with 2 or more invaders. So, So how is this relevant to us? It's one of those ones where I'm just thinking, am I just gonna mess things up here? We are against England. They're gonna double build in here anyway. But I suppose dragging this explorer out could be the most relevant thing we do here, because that means it's defendable with our defend, wherever the hell that is. Our elusive ambushes actually will work in there. So I think we'll just drag that explorer out and we'll put it in with a token. This token's about to be removed from the build, so I think we'll just drag them in there. Okay, so I think we allow both builds. I think. We can allow this build as well. And we can allow... I'm just a bit superstitious. We actually never need this many presents in there, so I will prevent that one. And, you know, other towns will find their way in there. There's not going to be a shortage of towns going in there. So we're at Terror 2, so we can either get 2 Fear or a Strife. There's Jungle, Wetland, Ravage. This needs to be just prevented, so you can't do anything about that. I suppose we could make this into a very safe defend with the Strife, or just 2 Fear. Okay, I might come back to that decision. And we have the Unbelievable Regrowth. So doing that here prevents a nasty cascade. So I think that's almost certainly the place that goes. We also have to then put a presence in an adjacent land. So probably in with this mountain so that I'm in with those Dahan. And then I think this is we go with the plan. So yeah, 3 damage after all that. But trust me, one day this will be doing fantastic amounts of damage and we'll all be very thrilled. So I'm actually too far away from that. Okay, so I can't make a sacred site in here this turn, but I will be able to rearrange my presence in the growth phase. So we'll make a sacred site in here and put a presence there. And then it's about, do we want 2 Fear or do we want a safer defend? Bearing in mind there is a blight in there. If we ambushes and call to guard, is that actually doing anything else for us in terms of elements? I guess it's helping with Twisted Flowers elements, because it would get us the air from call to guard. Or it's just 2 Fear. How are we doing for Fear? We're getting there. We're getting there. Are there other solutions? Wait, let's think about this sensibly. For example, if we threshold melt, we could just kind of parachute in there. This is a funny decision. There's no counterattack there. This is just a really unsatisfying defend, because we're not going to kill anything on the counter. I guess we might get Dahan movement off the event, but 2 Fear is a lot of fear. Yeah, because we need to prevent this Ravage here. And the thing is, this is the kind of game where you do often, if you lose by 1 Fear, because you run out of game and you haven't generated enough. Okay, let's think about next turn. So there's builds. There's a build here. Maybe I could bog that. Yeah, we definitely need to reclaim next turn. I think I take the fear. Okay. Not convinced. And we reclaim, and probably should again be looking at mages because we have so many cards now. I'm not even sure what mages we get. I guess something like Paralyzing Fright could be good. We can easily threshold it, can we? Yeah, we can just about threshold it. Even just a better, like a big defend might be nice. Am I now just going to fret about this land? I think I am. Okay, so we're kind of committed to playing Elusive Ambushes. And if we are ambushing, we're also committing to kind of 2 water cards, which means we could melt. Though easily thresholding melt without playing Elemental Boon might be nice. If we've got something like, yeah, a cheap Water Earth card. I mean, or is this the turn where we finally threshold flowers? The plant we don't have to worry about. We've done that. We just need to play 2 moon cards and 1 air card. So if we were to use this again, we could threshold flowers. So to threshold flowers, we need to play this, and bog. I like bog because it prevents a city build in there, amazingly. A town city build, even. So that seems worthwhile. So I think maybe we have a flowers turn, and we're looking at a minor power that might make that flowers turn better. Okay, well that's Disorienting Landscape, which, wow, and that's Nature's Resilience as well. So that means that this defend is a very safe defend, and we also get access to Quick Blight yoinking. This is perfect elements for flowers, though. We don't need perfect elements for flowers because we do have the other way, which does mean we have to play one of these air cards. In fact, I think we have to play Terror Turns to Madness, but we no longer have to play Elusive Ambushes, so we are swapping one bind for another, and it does mean we could play Roiling Bog. So I think we just take this. This is very tempting, though. But yeah, we take the safe defend. Okay, so then we need to rearrange our presence. So we've got a Sacred Site in here. And I guess we take from here. Especially now we have a bigger defend card. Okay, so flowers. Flowers, and then we need the moon air, and we need that. And we need to play our swanky new defend card. So I think that's right. We've got that threshold, which is just a wild amount of fear, and we can actually clear something. And I've not really thought about where I'm doing it either. And we've got a Sacred Site to regrow, so that's pretty good. So much can happen from the event and fear cards that I don't think I'm going to think about it too much. Basically, we can strife, kill a town, disappear to other things. Oh, even here actually we could full clear this land, potentially. How much creeping have we got? Full creeping, actually, so maybe we full creep in here. That might be better. And yeah, I think that's a good turn. We're certainly going to be generating a lot of fear. Okay, so we can have a safe defend in there. And we can have a preventing annoying town city build in there. We can destroy a presence somewhere. That doesn't matter. So we need all of these to prevent catastrophic catastrophic things. We do have access to unbelievable regrowth, so I think. I definitely want to keep this presence as it's got 3 Dahan in there. So I think actually we'll get rid of this presence. Okay, so lose a beast. Each land with disease, I don't believe. Oh wow, okay. that's nice, isn't it? And we can get a free Dahan. So Oh, that's unfortunate. We didn't get it for the actual Ravage. But I won't complain about getting an extra Dahan. Each player's used a different coastal land with Dahan. Gather a Dahan. Okay, that's wonderful. That's first class. So we have the counterattack here to kill the city. I guess we'll just do the damage up front. Okay, so we have this one, and we can kill the city, and that's good. And then we are preventing all the other ravages. Because we'd lose. I guess we could let this one go, but again, you've got the presence in there, there's no point. There's no point. And we have sand wetland. We are still got some time. Okay, so we are still in Terra 2, so let's just quickly see what our ravages are next turn. Actually figure out what we're doing with... We actually don't have a sacred site, that's hilarious. So we need to actually create a sacred site with this to use this. Oh, imagine if I'd been playing a regular green, that would have been heartbreaking. Okay, so our jungle sands, we could use Twisted Flowers to just obliterate this land completely, and we'd still generate the maximum amount of fear. If we use flowers in a land that has a Badlands token, then we would get to kill a town with this threshold bit. So that leaves... So really, that's this land. This land is doing quite a lot of stuff, so it would be quite nice to kind of smash it a little bit. So we could destroy the town, the city, remove another city. Oh, there's two Badlands in there. So destroy a city, remove a town. Yeah, so we get to fully clear this land. Now obviously it's England, so they will still build there. The other thing is this is two Badlands, so this is actually a nice place for us to just very easily do a lot of damage. Although this is also looking pretty appealing. I think maximizing the fear generation is the key, actually. So killing a city with the damage that this provides is the key to that. It has a whole extra fear. So with that in mind, I think I need to make a sacred site over here somewhere so that I can target over here. Did I need a sacred site somewhere else? This I can let go, potentially. Yeah, because if I make the sacred site here, I literally cannot target over here where I want to. Or I could make the sacred site and kill the town, remove the city and an explorer, and strife an explorer, which would be one less fear, but it would also mean I'd have to worry about any defending next turn, which means I could just be playing these things. Whereas if I clear this instead, I've still got to worry about this. Oh, I've also got to worry about these two ravages too. So okay. So I think actually that's kind of made my decision for me. I need to just put some more presence in these jungles, and I need to therefore yeah, there's no way around it. I need to do all this stuff. So the strife is going to go on an explorer. It's funny that it does it in this order. And it's probably just the order it's meant to be. So remove a town. Oh, no, I did it wrong. God damn it. Trying to milk every fear out of it. So the 3 damage is right at the end. Okay, so... okay, so I'm adding a strife to an explorer. I'm removing a city. And or just full clearing it though is pretty safe. If I remove the explorer, then there's still an explorer. Yeah, actually, let's just be safe. Let's just clear it completely. So, okay, so the sands are empty. We need to put another presence here, which we can do in the growth phase. So now we've just got Oh, ordering. Do I want a strife or do I want the fear? We definitely want the fear. So let's do this the other way around. We'll grab the fear and we'll do this. Okay. So yeah, fine. We've cleared it. And so all we're left with is our Creeper's Tear. So we could use that over here, I think, to get two of them, to get 2 fear, and then over here to get a 3rd fear. Or over here, I could use it to get 3 fear, but by destroying a city and a town instead of these 2 towns. There's nothing going on over here, so let's do it over here. So 1, 2, 3. Because we're then bringing this down to where it might be just something I can defend instead of having to sacrifice presence. So yeah, I don't get to spread the damage very well, but it's still amazing, so I'm not going to complain. Okay, so 3 Terror level 3 fear cards. So we're now 10, 13 away. And we have sands covered. We need to prevent this ravage here. So that will be this. And again, it's the energy issue, so we probably do want to be grabbing a card, grabbing this extra 3 energy next turn. And what's going on? What do we have left? So we could try and make a turn with Melt. Of course, we don't want to plan too much because we are about to get a new card. So let's... yeah. So we're definitely doing this. Do we want a major power? Or do we want to try and improve an idea we already have for the turn? So can we threshold this with our existing hand? I'm pretty sure we can. We can, except we have to use Elemental Boon to get Moon Water, which is a bit grim. So if we've just found a Moon Water minor power, that would be pretty valuable. Because we'd then be able to do this 6 damage. But is it that valuable? We wouldn't be doing that much with it. We'd be able to smash this land and then push into it, but it would be isolated, so it would prevent 2 builds. So it's a bit more like long-term problem solving. Also, let's watch out for there are 5 buildings in there. But if I do this option and then just push a town, then we're back down. And that will be generating a good amount of fear if I do that. So that would be gaining a minor power to support this turn. The other options we have are kind of shenanigans with are kind of this kind of business. I don't think we're going to get better mages than these. So I think we are looking at a minor power to support our current mages. Even just some fear generation, to be honest, could be pretty good. Okay, so we didn't get the Moon Water I'd hoped for, but we did get a Moon Earth, but yeah, that's irrelevant. We did get Confounding Mists, which is, okay, that's pretty juicy. We have double wetland builds. Yeah, so it's not... We could push the built city immediately into here. I think that's too fun to not do. This is probably actually better because it's fear. But this is also fear. This is, yeah, so we'll do that. And we still need to put a presence in here to prevent the... Yeah, I don't like moving that away. I don't think we'll need... Wait a second. I'm going to just undo this rearrangement, because if we were to... We could, for the purposes of kind of milking fear... Sorry, I'm just going to grab this again. So if we're using Confounding Mists in conjunction with Melt... Oh, can we afford that? Yes, we can. Then actually, because we can push stuff that's built into there, we could do something pretty funky. There is a double build in this wetland. I mean, unfortunately, they'll be building towns. But I think, okay, so they're going to build a city in here. We can just have them push it into there. That's an easy extra fear. It also means we don't have to worry about preventing these builds here. This build will prevent and then the ravage. That isn't. I think that's the approach. So yeah, we still. Do we actually need presence in there though? Let's quickly check. No. So we will bring this in here. We'll play this, and we'll play our new friend. And I think we still don't have a moon water, so we have to play elemental boon. I mean, it is good because it means we do get our other elements. And finally, we need to play another, just any other water card. So we have the town push. Stem. Oh, this extra health is miserable. England, why are you like this? Creep. So something that gets us more creepers tear would be nice. Yeah, again, but we don't have that moon water stuff. Apart from this beauty, but it's too expensive. So I think we'll just. But seer is not water, so it's not water pheasant. Have you considered that? Yes. So I think that's the plan. If we're lucky, the event deck will bless us with more things to be pushed into here. And we do have a lot of their cards too. Yeah, okay. And this, yeah, we'll find out if I've done this right. So we need moon, water, earth. So we've got a little bit of regrowth, and we do have this threshold. So I think this full clears this land. I feel like there is a cunning thing we could do here. But I think actually preventing these builds in the wetland is actually just really valuable. So maybe. Oh, are we actually just not preventing those builds? Oh no, we are. It just does it in 2 stages. Okay, fine. So then we're going to confounding mist in here, and we're going to push. Okay, we have to destroy a presence. I don't like not having any presence over here. We are able to place a presence back over in this region. We want to prevent this ravage. I mean, can we allow the build? That's a loss condition. Let's not risk it. And let's not risk losing our access to Dahan bonuses. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're losing a Dahan to this. But we will gain a bonus energy, so... this is a wetland, so it is inherently a bit more easy for us to deal with if we do this. Wow, they're going to build twice in there. That's disgusting. Okay, let's do it in here instead. And... well... So I do miss out on this energy if I do it in that order. So I'm going to do it in the other order. I'm going to get rid of this one then. Because I still have the 2 Dahan. Okay, each player adds a strife in a land with Dahan. In each land with strife, 1 damage per Dahan. They're literally building 2 cities in there. Let's do 2 damage to the city and just kind of gamble. Each player removes up to 3 explorers or towns for a land not matching a build card. I am tempted to remove these because these are miles away and I can't really do anything about them. So even though there's disease, even though there's badlands. Okay, choose a land with those things. Remove an invader there. We could remove a city here, and they'll still provide us with new cities to eat. So the key thing, though, is not to accidentally remove a town. Okay, each player chooses a different land with buildings. Gather Dahan, then 2 damage per Dahan there. Well, okay, we'll take this free city kill. Yeah, we're only getting to gather 1 Dahan. If we come in here, that's 6 damage. Yeah, okay, fine. We've cleared that land. Okay. It's the tide turning. So we'll do the fun build first. We'll allow... you can build here, alright? Thanks for building right into my face. And so there is a build and a ravage. Do I just let them get to 6? I don't think I can let them get to 6. Okay, so we also prevent this ravage. And we prevent this ravage. And mountain, wetland. Okay, so we've got some creeping to do, potentially. And we have this, except... oh, it can go anywhere. So do we... annoyingly, I was hoping to maybe repeat this turn next turn. Well, actually, 5 fear. I think we're okay. I think it might be done. I was hoping to actually just repeat this turn next turn if we had 2 lots of builds, but unfortunately we don't. So I won't. So the Creeper's Tear we can only really use in this land, and we can only use it in there if we go in there. So we'll do that. So we'll Creeper's Tear in there, and then we will push you in there so you can get eaten. So now we just need 3 fast fear. Whew. That was a good one. Let's just sanity check. Yeah, definitely just 3 fear. So we'll just do one where I don't have to think anymore. I can just not think anymore. I'm tired of thinking. So there's our 3 fast fear. It's not necessary to do anymore. How long was that? Oof, 1.5 hours. That's kind of what it's like with England 6, I think, even with really good play. And that's what I tell myself anyway. And this is a very slow spirit, so I'm going to cut myself some slack, you know. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let's look at some details. Wow. What are the MVPs? I realised I actually watch quite a lot of other people playing Spirit Island. And I quite like it when they actually talk about the match. So, I mean, this was good. Transformative Sacrifice was fun, perfect elements for us, kind of got us going. Melt obviously was the finisher. Nice to have some fun. You'd get to squeeze out some flowers. But yeah, I really like this new to me aspect. I know that it's been out physically for ages, but I've just not been able to get to it. Roiling Bog is so powerful. Just this isolate is so useful. That saved me a lot of stress. Boon, of course, not always great in solo, but yeah, that was a fun one. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you in the next one.